Hey everybody, welcome back. PattyAnne here again today. Hey, yesterday when I showed you, or the other day, some of these little critters that I was making like this, and I said that I had a video on there from Layla and from Levi, my twin 9-year-old grandkids. Unfortunately, I only put Levi's on there. Somehow I messed up Layla's and didn't have it on there. So I'm going to put that on there at the end of this video today. As I said, I have grandma camp every year, and some of the stuff that we do is a lot of sewing. Look back there. You can see one of the sewing machines. They each had their own sewing machine, and they're Singer sewing machines, and they've been using them now for like 3 years, and they've worked perfectly. They started using them, I guess, when they were 7 or 8, and pretty soon in November they'll be 10, and the machines have really taken a lot of sewing. So anyway, if you'd like to know which ones I bought, I can have a link for you if they're still available. I'll have it down below. Okay, I think I bought mine from Amazon, and I did not see this particular model there, but it is available at Walmart. And if you look right here, you can see how much it is. So, to me, it's been a really good deal. It's been used and, dare I say, abused for a couple years now. And then as you can see over here are the kits that I've been making. And I've bought all of these, and I actually have even one more that I'm going to do with you guys. This one right here. I'm telling you, I love these things. Look how many I have. Check this picture out. I can't resist. They're so much fun. And I sit up there and I do this, or if we're in the car and we're going on a long ride, I can take this with me and work on it. These make great gifts for people. And actually today on the Today Show, they were saying about how younger people are liking to go back into using some more of these old-timey kind of crafts that their grandma or their mom did. So this would be a perfect one for some young girls. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, the first thing I wanted to remind you of is, why did I pick the cookie box kits over the Woobles? I can honestly tell you I've never had a Woobles kit yet, but I like the price point of the cookie box ones better, and I like the fact that they come in these beautiful tins, which, by the way, one of my tins came and the UPS man must have been rough with it, so it had a little bit of a dent on it. And when I wrote to the company, they said, "Hey, you want us to send you out another one? We will send you another one out." So I said, "That's okay." I didn't want them to send another one out because it really wasn't hurting anything. But they would have sent another one out for me if I had wanted one. So anyway, another reason why I went with these was because I liked how they were packaged, and I like the fact, well, I can tell you this about the Woobles, is that they got money to get started on Shark Tank, as you can see in this image right here. I think they got like $450,000 to help them. I think Mark Cuban and maybe Lori both gave them money. I'm not exactly sure how that worked, but you could watch it on YouTube if you want. Anyway, the thing that I liked about this kit was that it's about $10 at least cheaper per kit to get these, and that matters a lot to me. Okay, you guys, I gotta put this in here real quick. I know my video is long, and I'm sorry about that, but here we go. Here's the Woobles Pierre the Penguin, and it's $30, right? I got an email saying if I purchase something, I'll get an extra little free kit. It's a little bracelet, and it's super cute. So I thought, why not? I'll get the Woobles this one time and try it. So I added it to my cart, and when I go to my cart, as you can see here, there's Pierre the Penguin. He's $30, and I get this cute little bracelet at no charge. So down here it says checking will be calculated, or shipping will be at the checkout. So I got a discount of -$15 because they're giving me the bracelet for free. My subtotal is $30, but I check out. And now if you look right here, it's $30 free, $30, $8 shipping, $257. So for my one fella here, this guy, let's imagine the freebie wasn't available right now. For this guy right here, it would be $40.57. So then if we go back to my Amazon, now I have Amazon Prime, so I don't have to pay for shipping because I have that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But check this out. Right now, this guy's on sale for $16.14. I just wanted you to see this. These are all on sale right now. What a wonderful deal. So anyway, if I add this to my cart, and let me go to my cart. I got a bunch of junk in my cart. Let me get rid of whatever I have. Oh, I'll leave those. I'll save these for later. I'm going to get these for my grandkids. Okay. Here's what I have in my cart right now. This. Proceed to checkout. Look what my total price is going to be. $17.23. So the difference in those two things, if I do the math, $40.57 minus $17.23, the difference is $23.34. I'm going to be paying $23.34 more for the Wooble guy than I was paying for the other guy from Cookie Box. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Tell me your thoughts in the comments, please. Because as an example, I'll show you, if you look at this guy right here that I made from the Cookie Box kit, right? Remember I showed him yesterday. Cute as can be. You'll see something very, very similar from the Woobles, which I'll show you right here. And look at the price point. This guy was $19.99. Sometimes they go on sale for less than that. And look at the price of the Woobles. Now, I did hear that the Woobles comes pre-started with a magic ring already done for you. And now, those of you who do Woobles, please let me know in the comments down below. Because in my understanding is there's one part that they pre-make the magic ring for you, which is all well and good, except that for some of these, you need more than one magic ring made. For example, for this guy, I needed a magic ring to start his head. Then I needed a magic ring for each one of his arms and legs. And I probably even used one for his little mug right here. Okay, so I'm not sure that the Woobles one magic ring start for you will help that much. But let me know again down below if you use Woobles and love them and you think that that's really a helpful thing. Okay, so I'm going to start this one. And if you look down below, I'm going to get started with this kit. I'm going to open it again and I'm going to start with the magic ring so you can see how easy it is to do it. Honestly, it is. So let's go. Okay, one of the first thing I wanted to show you is when we're doing this one, which is Jenny, or any of the other ones, you can go online and you can download to just have them on your phone or your iPad, the directions, or you can print them out. Either way, this gives you the step-by-step instructions. And there's even some special ones to look at, learn to crochet, learn how to do all these different things. But to start with the head, it says head part 1. So for number 1, I'm going to make with pink yarn a magic ring. And then into the magic ring, I'm going to do 6 single crochets, as it says right there. So let's put this off to the side, get out my yarn that I need. These are the extra things that come in it. I need the pink yarn and my crochet hook, and as I said, okay, I always need my cookie crumbs, and what I needed out of my cookie crumbs was a stitch marker because I need those a lot. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the magic ring. To do the magic ring, you simply take out a piece about, let's see, what would this be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches long, something like that. Doesn't have to be exact. You make a loop like that. After you make a loop, then you go ahead, pick up the loop, and pull this thread through, under and through, as if you're making a knot. Okay? But now what you have is 2 loops. Have yours look like mine, 2 loops. Okay? The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take this loop, the one that's attached to the working yarn over here, and you're going to fold it like this so that you make an X. See, can you see the X I just made there? The X. Okay, I made an X. I'm going to hold that X now so I don't lose it and bring this yarn up through the middle of that loop where the X was. Now I can't just pull that to tighten it while I'm holding the X. So I need to go back here and hold this initial loop that I made and pull this yarn. That makes a nice tight knot right there, which is what we need. Then this is too big because I want my crochet hook to fit in there. So I'm going to pull the working yarn to make it smaller. And again, I can still tighten it. Make sure it's a nice tight loop. Pull. And there we have the beginning of our magic ring. Okay. It's the beginning. So now I'm going to take my crochet hook, and it says I'm supposed to do 6 single crochets into that magic loop. Now notice when I put my crochet hook in here, it was a little loose on there. So I tightened it just ever so slightly. I don't want it to be really, really, really tight because then it's hard to work with. So now I'm going to do my 6 single crochets into here. So I'm going to go inside under both of these pieces of yarn around the back and pull this through. Once I've pulled it through, I'm going to push it all the way down so that these loops are the right size. I'm going to go around this again and pull this through both of those loops. And that is my first stitch. So every time I do a round, I like to use a stitch marker to show me where my first stitch is, because that really helps me know where I'm supposed to end. So I'm going to put this, see that first stitch right there? I'm going to put that stitch marker right in there. Okay, so that marked my first stitch, and I'm supposed to do 6 single crochets. So here's number 2, in, around and through, and then around, through again. That's 2. Three, 4, 5, and one more. Here's 6. Now, what I like about the videos that you can watch online from the Cookie Box people is that they show it for both right-handers and left-handers. I'm a righty, so that's what I'm showing. But if you happen to be a lefty, you can watch those videos. So I'm going to pull out my crochet hook now because it recommends that after each round, you count and make sure you have the proper number of stitches. So I'm going to do that now. So let's see. The first stitch is right here where my stitch marker is. That's 1. I'm counting the V's. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 of them. So that's perfect. 6 stitches. So now the magic, let me show you the magic of the magic ring. With the magic ring, what you're going to do is the string that is not in the working yarn, you're going to gently pull on that, because what that's going to do is it's going to make this ring kind of turn into a ring instead of a line of stitches. See how it's curving, starting to curve around now? That's the magic of it. Well, that's as far as I'm going to go right now, because now we're going to do round 2. And if we look at this page, round 2 says we're going to do 6 increases. And it's going to end up with 12 stitches. So now don't let me forget to put my stitch marker on, or I'll have to start yet again. I'm going to put my crochet hook in, pull this, it's not that, pull the working yarn to make it tightened up, and I'm pulling the magic ring just a little bit tighter. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go across, and these are all supposed to be increases. So I'm going to go across to this first stitch that I made before, which you really can't see. It's blurry, isn't it? This one's a little bit difficult to get into to begin with, but I'm going to get there. Okay, it's in there, and now I'm going to make one stitch. And as soon as I make this stitch, what do? I need to put on my stitch marker and mark that first stitch right there. Okay, and now since I'm doing an increase, I'm going to put a second stitch right in that same spot. So I'm going to go right into that same place, right there, and put a second single crochet, and that makes an increase. Then I'm going to go to the second stitch, which it's right here. Going to go into that stitch and make one single crochet, and in the same spot, the second single crochet. Then I'm going to go to the next stitch, and you can probably see it right there. I'm going to go in there. Whoopsie. One. And since it's an increase, I do 2 single crochets in the same spot. Find the next stitch. Can you see it? I can see it. It's right here. You see that V? I'm going to go right in there. 1 single crochet, and the second one in the same spot. Okay, let's find the next stitch. I see it. You see it? 1, 2. Okay, that's the one I started. So I have one more to go, I think. Yep. So I'm going to go 1 more increase, I should say. 1, and then another one. So now what I should be able to do is to count these stitches, and let's look again here and see how many it says I should have. Okay, for round number 2, with my 6 increases, I should have a total of 12 stitches. The number in parentheses is how many stitches you should have at the end of a round. So let's see if I got lucky. There's the first one, is right where that marker is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yahoo! Okay, notice that the hole is a little bit big in the center here, so I can pull this tight again a little bit if I want to make that a little bit smaller, which I do. And you see how that closed it up pretty nicely? See that? Okay, let's see what we're supposed to do next. For row, we've done rows numbers round 1 and round 2. For round 3, it says do a single crochet SC and then an increase. And we're supposed to do that 6 times. I don't really count. I just keep track of my stitch minder, my stitch marker. And then I'm going to have 18 stitches. So single crochet and increase. So I've got to put my needle back in here, or my crochet hook, sorry. I'm so used to using needles because you know I sew a lot and I do a lot of embroidery. So I keep calling this thing a needle. So it says for this round, I'm going to do a single crochet and then an increase. So right in this spot, right here. So I'm going to do a single crochet. And as soon as I make this first stitch, I must remember for my brain to put a stitch marker in that stitch that I just made. Okay, as we know, I'm on round 3 I've done one single crochet and I put in my stitch marker, and now I do an increase. So an increase is in the very next stitch, I'm going to do two single crochets, and that makes an increase. So it's in there, and the same thing we had done before, and in there, and that makes, sorry, two increases. All right. So then I do a single crochet in the next. Can you see that next one right there? Single crochet in there. And then an increase. So the increase is going to go in the next stitch, which is this one. There's one of the stitches for the increase. And here's the second stitch for the increase. And then I'm going to go in the very next single crochet, or the next stitch, and do a single crochet. Then the next stitch, and do an increase. And then the next stitch, and it's a single. And then the next, right there, is an increase. And then a single. And then an increase into here. And then a single. See where it goes, right there. Single. And then the very last thing I'm going to do in this one right here is an increase. Okay, let's see. 1 and a 2. Now, according to the directions, if I've done this properly, round 3, I should now have 18 stitches. So let's count, and it recommends you count every time so you can fix things. So there's a 1, the first one where my stitch marker is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Whee! We have 18. Perfect. So we are done. This is the wrong side. See all those little bumpies? And this will end up being the right side. Okay. So if I was doing that, I would want to make sure that I mark where I am, because I'm going to quit for now. I've done round 1, 2, and 3, and we have 18 stitches. So I need to remember when I start again, I'm going to start on round 4. So what I might do is, if I had some sticky notes right nearby, I'd probably write that on a sticky note. But since I don't, and I have a piece of masking tape, I think I'll just do it on there. And I'm going to be on, what did I say, round 4? So I'm just going to put a little note right here that I'm going to start on round 4 when I begin again. Okay, just to refresh your memory, and before we go back to where we were, you get this little card which has care instructions on the back in the cookie box, and you also get this where you can click on this with your camera, and it should take you exactly to the one you're making. So it took me right to Jenny, and right here I can download my patterns, okay, or I can look at it right here. It's hard for you to see, I know, but you can see it kind of. And you can go here and watch the video. You can click here to watch it on YouTube instead. And I can skip the commercial. And then if I have it like this, I can go to more. It has chapters over here. So if you want to go to something specifically, like round 6, it will go directly to round 6, which we are not there yet, and it shows you. But look how nice the video is. Remember to keep marking off the first stitch of every round. Okay, but let's get back to where we were. Okay, remember we were going to start again according to our note on round 4. So I'm going to do round 4 all the way through round 14. Notice each one of these, it tells you how many single crochets to do and increase, and how many stitches you should have at the end of that round. So for example, on round 8, it says to do 6 single crochets and then an increase. So you'll do that 6 times, 6 single crochets and an increase, 6 single crochets and an increase. But I don't count them like that. Remember, I like to use the stitch marker. Just follow this pattern until I get back to the stitch marker and then count how many stitches I have. This one right here, row 9, you're going to do 48 single crochets. And also in row 10, you're going to do 48 single crochets. In row 11, you'll do 6 single crochets and a decrease. Maybe I should just go to row 11 and meet you back here so I can show you what a decrease is. That's what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and do rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'll meet you back here for round 11 to show you what a decrease is. Okay, I've gotten all the way to round number 11. I keep calling them rows, but round 11. And that's 6 single crochets and a decrease. And I said I wanted to show you how to do a decrease if you're not sure. So, and this is something that I have for my next, or for this, because if you'll notice here, you do round 11, and then 12, 13, and 14 are all the same thing. And so I don't get mixed up, I like to make a scrap piece of paper that have the row numbers listed there. And as I complete them, I put a little check mark beside it. So right now I'm on row number 11. And row number 11 starts with 6, see if you can see that, probably not, 6 single crochets and then a decrease. So 6 single crochets and then a decrease. I need my hook in, take my stitch marker out, and remember to put it back in. So 6 single crochets, so there's 1, okay, there's my first stitch that I've made. And so I don't forget, I'm going to put my stitch marker right in that first stitch. So there's 1 single crochet, and I need to make 6, and then I'll do a decrease. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, after you do the 6 single crochets, it says to do a decrease. A decrease is simply going into the front loop of the next stitch and then into the front loop of the next stitch and then crocheting them together. So I go through those 2. Oops, I made them a little too tight one. So that was a decrease right there. So then after that decrease, I need to do 6 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'll show you one more decrease, and then I'll continue on and be back here when I'm finished. So again, to do a decrease, I'm going to go into the very next stitch, which is right here, just the front leg. Grab the front leg of the next stitch, and then also grab the front leg of the next stitch. So there's that stitch, and the front leg of the next one would, whoopsie, would be right here. And I'm going to crochet those together, which basically is decreasing. Okay, so I'm going to continue that all the way around, and I'll be back. Okay, I turned this to make sure that these rings are what is on the outside or the right side. And then it says to place the eyeball 7 or 8 between the 7th and 8th row. So I believe I'm doing this right. I counted down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So between the 7th and the 8th row, let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the next one will be the 8th row. And then it says to have 7 stitches apart. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches apart. So it's going to go right in there. Now to make the eye, it comes in 2 different pieces. This piece, well, actually 3, which will go on the inside. Then the sparkly piece. The sparkly piece is going to be put down on the eyeball like this, so that when you see it, you can see how it kind of sparkles and it makes it look more alive. So again, I got to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be this row, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It says 7 apart. Hope that's not too far apart. Oy, oy, oy. Let me see what the front looks like. Well, on the front, when I look at the cover, they are kind of far apart. So I'll go right there. So I'm kind of making that little hole so I can keep track of it. I'm going to stick this eyeball right in there, that little hole. It's kind of bigger than the hole is, so it takes just a little bit of work. Okay, so that's how they look. Cute. Then you're going to turn this to the inside like this so that you can see these 2 pegs. And that's when you'll use these 2 things. They're going to go on like this, not like this. So not like a saucer, but like an up, like a dome. And you're going to push it on until you hear it click. I did not hear that click yet. I'm having a little trouble with this clicking for some reason. Let me push this down a little further. Take this piece. There, I felt it click. You probably didn't hear it, but I felt it click. Okay, now this one. Again, it's not clicking, so I need to figure out, do I need to push this down a little more? My fingers. Take this piece again. Okay, I felt that one click as well. So there are her little eyes. Very cute. All right, for the next part, I want to show you this. I'm not going to be able to do this without getting online to do it. It just was, it just didn't make sense to me. Okay, it says, add ruffle edging. Okay, right here. It says, make a slip knot with a new strand of the purple yarn. There's the purple. Attach this purple yarn to any stitch using only the front loop by making a chain stitch. And for round 15, you're going to crochet 2, was that half double crochets? Into each of the 42 stitches along the edge using the front loop only, which is abbreviated FLO, and there'll be a total of 84. So like I said, I don't know what that means, so I'm going to have to go and find the video. Okay, I noticed the written instructions didn't tell you to fasten this off, but you need to. So you're going to cut right here about 5 inches or so long off of the working yarn. Pull this, see the loop, the last loop or the lap? You're going to pull this through here like that and pull it to tighten it. Then you're going to put this in your thread your needle. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is to skip the first stitch. Let's see, that would be this one here. So I'm going to go into the second stitch here. And pull it kind of tight. And then I'm going to go back into the stitch that this one came from. And I am not sure I get this right, but I'll try. Go in there like that. And you can watch their video. It's much more clear than what I'm showing here. But you pull it tight, and then it kind of looks like an invisible stitch. That ends it, and then you're done with that part. But the thing, oh, and I wanted to tell you, since I'm doing this for you guys, I lost count a few times. So my head might be a tiny bit more shapen than theirs, but I think it's going to be adorable anyway. So if you're not making a video and trying to keep track of that and counting, yours will be just like theirs, more than likely. All right. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do over here, because if you look right now at my screen, this is where we ended up, where it tells us how to do this, to add the ruffle edging. And it says to make the slip knot, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't understand any of that. So I said, let's go to the video instead. So here's the video. I'll make it full screen. And let's see how well this is going to work out. It says ruffle edging. And I'll play it so we can see.
To create the ruffle edging, you will need the purple yarn, which will be added to the rim of the head. Prepare a slip knot with the purple yarn by holding the yarn tail with your non-dominant hand and the working yarn with your dominant hand. Place the working yarn over the yarn tail and bring the working yarn through the loop you just created. Pull on the loop in the working yarn to tighten the slip knot. Adjust the loop to be slightly larger than the size of the hook. Now set the slip knot aside. Grab your piece. You can tie the yarn tails inside the head so that they don't get in the way. You will work only into the front loops of the stitches in the last round. You will work only in the front loops of the stitches in the last round, leaving the back loops for sewing the bottom part onto the stop part. Insert your hook through the front loop of any stitch and place the loop of the slip knot onto the hook. Pull the slip knot all the way through the stitch. Get a hold of the working yarn. Now create a chain stitch to secure this yarn in place. Yarn over and pull the working yarn through the loop on the hook. This will act as the first half double crochet of the round. Next, work 2 half double crochets into each stitch of the round. To create a half double crochet, yarn over, keep this strand on the hook and insert the hook through the next stitch. Use only the front loop. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pick up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull the working yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. Then create another half double crochet into this same stitch. Yarn over, insert the hook under the same front loop, yarn over again and pick up a loop. Pull the working yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. Continue by making 2 half double crochets into each of the following stitches in the round.
Okay, hopefully based on that, you're able to see how easy it is to follow the videos. And of course, you can watch them again and again. So I was able to follow it now. So I know to make this, I'm going to do yarn over, just the front loop, yarn over and pull it through. Now I have 3. Yarn over and pull it through all 3. I believe that's right. Yarn over, go in the same spot. Now I have 3 and pull it through all 3. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish the whole little girl, the whole little critter. I'll come back and show you what it looks like. I basically just wanted to show you how easy these kits are to use, and I want you guys to tell me in the comments if you think this is worth the price, because it being $10 less than the Woobles. Are the Woobles that much better? Remember, this comes in the tin and all the other benefits that you get with it. So let me know in the comments, please, please, please. I'd really like to know. I don't want to spend money on a Wooble, because these are adorable and I love them, unless there's something I don't know about the Woobles. I know I said I'd show the finished product, but I'm running out of time on this video, and I really wanted to show Layla's adorable video. So please enjoy watching her creation. Bye for now. Thanks again. Don't forget about my links down below.